This is for your 6-foot roll-up door. Again, this is an add-on for this house. But we want to go ahead and cover the options here so that if you do happen to add this on, that you've got the ability to go ahead and have a few extra instructions on it. So we went ahead and cut a little slit here. We had to work in and out, of course, cradling the film. So we went ahead and chose this door to make a little cut. The good thing about this door, with this 6-foot door, we're not worried about drawing any more tension. We've got it all locked in throughout. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just leave a 4 to 6 inch border right here. And I'm gonna cut this whole rectangle out. Now this 6-foot door is gonna come in basically the standard dimension of a French door. So what we have here is a 6-foot wide opening and it's 7 foot tall. So we'll make our cuts here. And then when we get to the bottom, we're just gonna go straight out. If you wanna cut an angle on that, when you get to the bottom here, instead of cutting straight out, feel free to just go ahead and come over, and that way, that will stay out of your way as you're working around your greenhouse. So we'll go ahead and do this on the other side as well. We've opened up our 6-foot doorway here. Gonna give us a little relief. So now we've cut the 6 mil film. We're gonna use this 10 mil laminated film. And you can see here, this is called GT 1200. It'll be on your packing list. This has got string laminated to the inside. So as much as we expect these doors to be used, especially around here on our demo houses, we go with the 10 mil, it's a little bit heavier. It's got the string laminated inside. So the more it goes up and down, that's gonna help this door last a little bit longer. We've got this top corner secured. John's finishing it off there. You'll notice we have a bit of excess. Now we have this same amount of excess on both sides of the door. This is intentional. As we secure this with wind strapping here, because we're only gonna secure the top of the door with wire right now. We're not gonna secure the sides. We do have the base in place here, holding the end wall film in place. And again, during cold weather or severe weather, you may wanna take a piece of extra wiggle wire and secure this so that, again, no cold air creeps in or so that no strong winds get up underneath there. The excess on either side is intentional so that as you wire it in, you have enough to pull that tension across and really help seal your door off, along with, again, the weight of the tubing at the bottom helping seal you at the end. So we do cut this film at about 8 feet width, so you have the hangover. It does come in 12-foot sections though before we cut that width on it, so you're gonna have some excess down here. Again, the highest we can go is 7 feet. So our dimensions are gonna be 7 foot tall, 6 foot wide for the 6-foot roll-up door. So you'll notice we have 4 or 5 feet of excess on the ground here. I'm gonna do the same thing we did with the roll-up sides, and I've come over here, again, about 6 inches. It's not an exact measurement. We just wanna make this a little bit easier on us when we go to rolling this door up. And I'm just gonna take this excess off all the way down through here. That way we go to cradle the pipe in there and we go to roll our door up. We're not rolling up 5 extra feet of film. We trim the excess off on our length. Now, this was cut at 8 feet. The tubing that we send is right at 7'11". Again, this just saves on over length charges for your freight. And any little bit we can save getting it to you, we want to do that. So cutting this below 8 feet at 7'11" is going to allow us to save some money there. But what we want to do here is we do need this saw cut end slightly covered by a roll-up door. This is going to help protect the main film, the main end wall covering. However, where we're going to put a universal knuckle in here, we've got to do some Tech screws and put our lay flat tubing on. I've got quite a bit of excess and it actually covers too much on this end. So what I want to go ahead and do is I'm going to come in from my end here, pull off of my end wall so I don't cut it, and I'm going to go ahead and reduce this down to about a 4-inch overhang here past the door frame. That's going to allow me a little bit of room to get my Tech screws in, the blue lay flat hose over it that's going to protect the film from the universal knuckle, and everything else that we have to do on this right side. Now, we're going to do the right side for our roll-up handle for the door. That's just the side we prefer today. It's going to depend on your job site and how your house lays out as to which side you want to put your handle on, which side is going to work best for you. We've got our trim done. We've got the size and the fit exactly how we want it on this house. So again, we've come back inside. I do have a little help out there in keeping my corner straight. I am keeping the tubing slightly off the ground here because as I apply pressure to put these snap clamps on, we're going to push back down on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my hand all the way under the tubing, snap clamp in my palm, and apply that directly to the pipe there. Now this is going to keep our roll-up door in place in the same way as we did on the exterior, or with the roll-up sides. We've cradled all the film to the inside. Again, any rain that comes down, any moisture on the outside of the house will now run off the door as opposed to getting caught in that cradle on the exterior of the house. Okay, now we're on to securing our door to the frame here. We've got the tubing snap clamped in. What we're gonna do is the same thing we did on the wind strapping on the sides. You do your double fold. I don't know if I'm in the lens there. Double fold. We're gonna use a Tech screw for our top connection here. We're gonna go just above our framework. We're gonna go through the GT, through the end wall, into the vertical upright right here. So again, I just left this on the roll. I have my top secured. Now I've cut it, now that I'm pretty sure of my length here. So we have come just a little bit off the ground. We're gonna do our double fold. And for this connection, we're gonna take our wood screw in our washer. Same as the wind strapping before. We just wanna go through. As you can see with our wood connection, we did have to come just offset from our wire base down here. We went ahead and ran that all the way to the ground. So we went ahead and came off to the right here onto the wood. So we wouldn't be able to make a Tech screw connection down there. Now you'll see we have a little bit of a gap here. If you're doing any backfilling or anything like that, what we usually do is a little bit of straw or a little bit of soil to backfill and cover that gap during the colder months. We've got it secured in place, so we don't really have to worry about it going anywhere. We're gonna take our universal joint here. We're gonna place one end in the tubing. And we're gonna go ahead and get 2 Tech screws. For all these spin handles and knuckles, we do have these nylock threaded. I believe they're 9/16. Today we're just gonna use an adjustable wrench. And we just want to go down a thread or two past. We just want to go a thread or two past the nylock so that it won't back out. And then we'll get our lay flat on here. So I've gone ahead and I've slid the blue lay flat hose here. Now it's going to protect the end wall film from our knuckle. We're going to put our 4-foot extension on here. We'll do 2 Tech screws. We'll slide that back down and cover the Tech screws. We're gonna take some zip ties and secure these ends. Best way to do that is to go ahead and take 2 zip ties. Go ahead and just prepare yourself one longer one. Let's go between the tubing and the house and go ahead and pull that down to keep this in place. I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna cut the excess. Now cutting the excess off of your zip ties will help protect your end wall film. One other thing I could suggest to you is during your install process, if you have a little bit of heavy grade tape, that you could go ahead and cover those as well, because when you do cut the excess off, you can create points that if you're not careful, can also tear your end wall film. So we want to make sure we remove any doubt here in protecting our film, because we don't want to go up and down 100 times and end up just putting a crease straight up our house that ends up being a tear. All right, and the last part of our roll-up door is going to be the spin handle. So again, we're just like our roll-up sides, we're going to take this and we're going to insert it into the tubing for our 4-foot extension that runs to our knuckle. That's what's going to secure our roll-up door in place. Now, with the knuckle, we can roll away from the house. So you'll notice with the 4-foot extension on this handle, we would risk this thing moving around here. Now we do have a little bit of excess cut off from our purlin and from our roll-up sides. So what you can do is take one of your excess cutoffs, drive that into the ground, and you can create a place. This is a little bit excessive right here and not being in there, but I do want to show you can create a place where this spin handle can slide right in. And that way it's going to keep your house protected. Now I would go ahead and suggest driving it in somewhere down here around your house where you're gonna be able to maneuver it in there, but that placement is gonna be completely up to you. One of the other things you can do is hang a loop. What you would do is take some of your excess wind strapping, fold a loop about 6 inches long, and you could go ahead and Tech screw through the base there, and then you could run the loop over, You can hang it in this area here, and you could run the loop over and hold your handle. That would keep it from moving around and possibly tearing your end wall film.